Some of you have expressed concerns about understanding how devices work with strategy, so this video aims to do just that. Now, when I say a device and I say strategy, the two are not necessarily the same. And I've already covered this information in another video, but I'd like to make that point very briefly. A device is a thing. A strategy is what it does. A strategy can be something as large as redefining the understanding of censorship or what is worth censoring. That's the strategy, right? The strategy may be something as large as comparison and contrast between two big things, or a strategy may be something larger, usually taking up a portion within the text, like a paragraph or two or three, right? Now, within those paragraphs and within that larger strategy, there are devices that are peppered in it. And that's what I mean. This video is about turning a device or a series of devices into a larger strategy. Now, let's do just that. We're going to use the Abigail Adams text wherein she uses a simile in order to compare her son's journey away from home to that of a river flowing away from a stream. Now, it doesn't matter how many words I use here. I've said only really one thing. Abigail Adams uses a simile. I know it sounds like a terrible sentence, but really that's what I've done. Abigail Adams uses a simile in order to compare. Abigail Adams uses a simile in order to compare what? Her A to B, her son's journey to a river. I mean, it doesn't matter how many ways I say it. I'm essentially saying the same thing, which is she is using a simile. I'm not quite telling you what it does, or the meaning of the simile, or the implication of the simile, or the purpose of the simile altogether. So this is how to identify a device. Now, how to make that device into a strategy? Here's how it works. Abigail Adams compares, simile, her son's journey across the ocean to that of a river's. Have I said the word simile? No, but comparison implies either metaphor or simile. Now, in this case, it doesn't quite matter because the point is still being made, which is there is a comparison that Abigail Adams is using in order to relate her son's journey to a river's. Why? Here's how it can turn into a strategy when you tell me what it's accomplishing. Increasing in strength, which one? The journey or the river? Both. And in wisdom, as they both travel away from home. There's that strategy. So, what is the larger strategy being used here? The larger strategy, you would call it a natural strategy or using nature in order to prove a point. Just like rivers gain in strength as they go away from the source. So your journey, which by the way is on a boat, on a ship, well, you will also gain strength as you cross the ocean, right? There's a to water related simile. It's a natural simile, and it works. Now, this last example is how to make two devices into a strategy. Okay, so Abigail Adams compares her son's journey across the ocean to that of her rivers. We read this before, increasing in strength and wisdom as they both travel away from home. Check number one. Simile, comparison, and how it works. Okay, she compounds her simile with allusions. Now I've added another device to other great men who, like her son, traveled far from home. There is that relationship that she's making, and made a name for themselves in the process to encourage her son to see this trip as an opportunity and not an imposition. Now, this is larger. I've turned two devices under one strategy and then related it to purpose, which is encourage her son to see this trip as an opportunity, not an imposition, which is the larger strategy of that section of the text. So when you are when you are talking about devices, you can't just tell me what they are. You have to tell me what they're doing, what they're accomplishing. Okay, there is no follow-up assignment here because video was only to explain certain concerns that you had. All right, that's it.